Guys, this one's about baseball. If I had to choose a sport to be a fan of, it would probably be baseball. I don't have a reason why, I just kinda like it. I mean, not enough to actually follow a team or learn any of the players' names, but conceptually speaking, baseball is my sport. This episode opens with a spooky shot of an empty baseball diamond. Slowly, spiritual energy begins to erupt from the pitcher's mound. Not only is this great effects animation, it's on a baseball field, the symbolic sport of America. Alright, episode. Alright. You've got my attention. Unfortunately, it doesn't have anybody else's attention. Back at the firehouse, Winston is having a hard time convincing the rest of the team to go with him to see his favorite baseball team play.
So who's playing? The Yankees? The Mets?
The Jaguars.
Oh no.
Yeah, apparently Winston is really into South Alabama college baseball. Or maybe high school baseball? Little League? Seriously, who are the Jaguars and why does this New Yorker care? Either way, Winston has the same problem I do when it comes to live baseball games.
But I don't want to go by myself.
That said, I don't think I'd settle for Slimer. The way he eats, little Spud would have me in the poorhouse by the 7th inning. See? Winston notices something weird going on in the game, but when he tells the rest of the team about it, they're not sure anything supernatural is going on.
A Jag player dropping a pop fly isn't exactly a supernatural event.
Now, if he caught the ball, that'd be supernatural. I know what I saw.
Even so, Winston isn't convinced. He looked into the history of the stadium and learned that it was built on an ancient Indian spiritual battleground. That's right, it's the 80s, when you could still get away with blaming your story tropes on Native American burial grounds. Yay! Egon says they need to get a permit from the mayor before they can investigate, but Winston ignores him, returning to the stadium himself late at night. Which is kind of weird, right? We've never really seen the Ghostbusters bother with legal permission to shoot nuclear accelerators all over the place before, right? But now they are. Suddenly, when Winston wants to do something, gotta ask the cops. Or the mayor. City Hall. You know. When Winston goes to the baseball field, though, he kinda winds up agitating the spirits. By the time the rest of the team arrives, there's a barrier around the entire stadium. Egon, Peter, and Ray blast their way through it, but they don't find a baseball diamond on the other side. They find a spiritual battleground. A baseball-themed spiritual battleground.
What have you done with Winston?
They made me shortstop. What?
It turns out the spirits of good and evil agreed to play baseball instead of having their traditional epic battle. The stakes?
The fate of one human soul.
Why go through so much trouble to decide the fate of a single human soul? Well, the umpire gets pretty philosophical about it.
Just one soul? Is there anything on this puny earth as important? Isn't even one soul worth all this effort? And more?
Yeah, well, if you put it that way.
In fact, the ump is philosophical about a lot of things. When the Ghostbusters point out that the evil side is cheating, the spirit explains that of course they are. They're evil. That's what evil's supposed to do.
But evil cheats. That's its nature. It does whatever unscrupulous or immoral thing it has to win. That's why we call them evil. Only good is not allowed to cheat.
The game itself is kind of awesome. The transformed stadium puts the baseline on raised stone walkways, and the field is covered in some kind of spectral water. If real baseball was like this, I probably wouldn't have as much trouble trying to get people to go to games.
Baseball was as boring as Mom and apple pie. That's why they jazzed it up.
Boring? Baseball wasn't... So they finally jazzed it up.
Winston seems happy just to be playing baseball, but the rest of the team is pretty miffed at all the cheating. When a new pitcher comes in, the Ghostbusters wonder if the no cheating for good rule applies to spectators. They almost bust the bad guy's new pitcher, but Egon stops them at the last second.
No, stop! We can't do it. If we cheat, good loses.
See, at the beginning of the game, the umpire tells them there's not really a thing called neutral in the battle of good and evil, and giving them the chance to decide whether or not they were going to bust the new pitcher was a test to see if they would allow good to win on its own terms. For the team, that was a really hard decision because they thought they were playing for Winston's soul. Turns off they were just one Ghostbuster off the mark.
Oh no, you got it wrong. It was your soul we were playing for, Peter. That's why they let me play. You mean I almost that if I'd cheated, it would have been my...
Peter, are you all right?
That does it. From now on, I only go to Mets games.
It's the perfect end to a perfectly silly episode. And a lot like the last episode, this is a concept that could have easily gone south. This could have been a terrible episode, but it was saved by good writing. And good writing makes all the difference. Not only was it well written, we got to see a Winston episode. You don't get a lot of Winston episodes. So it's a character arc for him, plus it has that sort of lightweight philosophy, good versus evil, why good is good and bad is bad. Yeah, it's pretty sophomoric. It's not very deep philosophy, but it's part of what makes these episodes fun. And this episode was a lot of fun. So that's it for now. Another bad sign off, but until next time, keep charging. Bye. I'll just leave that in.